When I was about 10 years old, I was racing dirt bikes and I ended up crashing pretty hard and I ended up breaking my back. When I did, I had to ride an ambulance to a nearby hospital and I had to stay there for 2 days and one night. So we left, we went home, and later on we got our medical bill, which is $35,000, which is a lot of money. $10,000 of it was for the ambulance ride for the 45 minutes, and then the other 25 was for the rest of the stuff they had to do. Luckily, our health care are provided for our health insurance, but a lot of people, they don't have health insurance. There's about 27 million people in the United States that do not have health insurance. I don't blame them because it's super expensive. It's about $15,000 a year for a family. I'll be using various resources from governors and the Northwest Florida State College databases to explain the controversy around the Medicare for All plan. First, I'll explain what Medicare is. Secondly, I'll explain why people advocate for it, and then lastly, I'll explain why people do not want it. To start things off, let's explain what Medicare for All even means. According to an article named Medicare in the Northwest Florida State College database opposing viewpoints, there's 4 parts to Medicare. There's Part A, B, C, and D. Part A covers most of the things like hospital visits and nursing facilities. Part B covers most doctor services such as like x-rays and lab tests. Part B is optional, but 90% of people with Part A also choose Part B. Part B has a premium, which is kind of like a monthly fee, and so in 2017, the average premium was about $134 a month. Part C is known as Medicare Advantage, which is where you also pay premiums and deductibles, which is where like you pay so much money and then your insurance will pay for the rest of it. Part D is the medicine coverage or prescription costs, and they'll cover that for you. And Medicare is only for people who are 65 years or older or maybe younger, but they have a disability. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders proposed this plan to make Medicare available to everybody, hence the word Medicare for All, so that everybody is allowed to be under this program. Now that we know what Medicare for All is, let's look at the positives of Medicare for All. According to the article Universal Healthcare and Northwest Florida State College database opposing viewpoints, the number one reason people want the Medicare for All plan is for healthcare services. A lot of people don't get a lot of like healthcare because they can't afford it. So according to Senator Richard Blumenthal during his floor speech July 10th, 2019, high prices force many Americans to skip doses of needed drugs such as insulin and forego cancer treatment. This is kind of the same thing, saying like they don't have enough money to pay for their insulin or their cancer treatment because they don't have any insurance. So people like Bernie Sanders want to implement this Medicare plan so that everybody is under the same insurance so that they can get the things they need to stay healthy and stay alive. The second positive of having Medicare for All plan would be that it's much cheaper. Sarah Cliff and Dylan Scott said in their Vogue's article on June 21st, 2019, that Senator Bernie Sanders proposes a single-payer approach, which means that all the funds from like the federal government, state government, employers all goes into one central paying system, and then that would be distributed out into to the doctors and the hospitals and the prescription costs and things like that. The Kaiser Family Foundation conducted a poll called Most Democrats Prefer a Presidential Candidate Who Wants to Build on the Affordable Care Act on September 12, 2019. This poll found that 53% of people support the Medicare for All plan and would want everybody to enroll in this new healthcare system. The single-payer system would greatly reduce the cost of administrative requirements. It'd be about 30% of savings is how much they'd save. Another positive of the single-payer system is that no matter what, you have health insurance regardless of your income. Lastly, let's look at the flip side of the Medicare for All debate. One reason people oppose Medicare for All plan is because of the cost. Yeah, you heard me. According to Buddy Carter, a Georgia congressman, during the healthcare debates per the CQ researcher, the new Medicare plan will estimate to cost about $32 trillion over the next decade. This would not be good for the government, since the fact that we're already in $24 trillion of debt right now. Matthew Benjamin, in his article, National Debt, on September 1st, 2017, said that the Medicare for All plan, if it went to action, it put us in a lot more debt because, as I said, $32 trillion over the next decade. They put us in more debt, and it caused taxes to skyrocket, and we'd have to make up for that to the debt with taxes that we'd have to pay, and also the standard of living would go down in the United States. And the next reason people oppose the Medicare for All plan is that healthy people would have to pay for the medical needs of unhealthy people. So like I said, like nothing is ever free. You probably heard the saying that if it's too good to be true, it probably is. That's the same thing here. Like Medicare, they're like, oh, it's free. It's free and all this, but actually what they have to do is healthy people like you and me, they'll jack up the taxes on us so that we'll have to pay more in taxes to help fund their programs and also get us out of the debt that they're putting us in with the $32 trillion in the next decade. And I bet you or me definitely wouldn't like that. Lastly, the plan would eliminate competition between companies. Senator Charles E. Gracely's floor speech on May 22nd, 2019 said that insurers compete for Part D customers based on what their plans cover and cost. So he's saying, like, in Part D, the prescriptions, that they compete with other companies to get the best deal for the consumers like you and me. Also, Senator Mitch McConnell said during his floor speech February 28, 2019, that Medicare for All would lower the quality of health care and result in rationing. So kind of the same thing here in England. They have a Medicare for All system, and that means anybody can go to the hospital, but it's always jam-packed because so many people are going to the hospital that people have to wait months to get their treatment. That's what he's kind of saying here. To sum things up, we talked about what Medicare is, what the positives of Medicare is, the Medicare for All plan, and the negatives of that plan as well. With all the information I provide you with, coming into the 2020 election, you will need to decide whether or not you want to put a candidate into office who wants to implement a Medicare for All plan into our everyday lives. Thank you.